All right, welcome. This is Unofficial Community Game 2023, number 5. The Axis powers are played by Mannix as Germany and Skeletor as Japan. And the Allied powers will be myself, Cobra, as Russia, and General Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, as the United Kingdom, and Cat Gifts will be playing as the United States. A couple of people I haven't played with before, so it should be fun. And I hope you enjoy it. And with that, let's get right into the gameplay. Alright, Russia round number 1. So our purchase for the round was 4 infantry and 2 tanks, which is our standard. And we're going to do our standard 9-12 attacks on West Russia and the Ukraine. So let's get those done. Hopefully these go well. Haven't had the most luck lately with these attacks. But it is a game that involves dice, so we play what we're dealt. Alright. Alright. Combat was mixed. We lost 4 guys in West Russia, which is a lot. In Ukraine, we took the territory, which is always important. So those units always die anyway. It's nice to have a little bit extra units so that we can maybe get some hitbacks, but in this case, that wasn't to be. So let's see here. Alright, we'll fly. No tanks can get there. 1 infantry and 1 artillery. 1 plane, 2 planes. But then they can't land, so only 2 planes. Okay, so we can land the fighters there. Land the fighters there. And everybody will move back, except for this one. We'll throw down in Szechuan. Move our sub over here into C-Zone 7. Move our AA gun up to West Russia. Yeah, so he can have 1 tank, 2 tanks, and a bunch of planes at this. I mean, that's interesting. He could do that. Well, we'll have to see what happens. I don't think they'll go for it. It's too early, but they might. They might try it. We'll see. If they actually take them both, it's going to put us back really far, but we'll see what happens. Alright. Tanks go into Russia. Our infantry go into the Caucasus. And that will conclude Russia round number 1. I will see you guys back for round number 2. Alright, Russia round 2. So, state of the board, because of our horrifying start, we're pretty behind as far as West Russia goes, but we've done the calculations and we can get it to about a 50-50 battle, which for Russia is sometimes all you can hope for. If Germany wants to deplete all their army doing a 50-50 battle, then so be it. So our purchase for this turn was just all infantry and 1 artillery to use all of our money. And we're only going to do 1 attack this turn, and we're going to take 1 infantry and 1 artillery and 2 fighters and hit Ukraine. And that is all we're going to do as far as the attack. So let's get that done. Okay, Morocco, Hawaii, Yunnan, I can't do any of those, so that's not for me. Alright, we took the long way, but it actually worked out. So, we took Ukraine. Our planes are going back into West Russia. Everything else is going into West Russia. And the rest of our guys will do a retreat. We'll drop one guy in Bury, I guess, just to piss him off. And everyone else will go retreating. Let's see here. All right. All right, that looks like everything. Obviously, our game's going to depend on what Germany decides to do here. We'll throw an artillery in the Caucasus, and we'll throw 8 guys in West Russia. I'm sorry, in Russia. Okay, wait a minute. All right, my senior advisor has told me that we need more guys in the Caucasus. So I'm going to amend that deployment and throw 3 guys in the Caucasus and 5 into Russia. Sometimes you got to pay attention to the War Department. Other times you just go it alone. But this time we're gonna pay attention to young Joseph Stalin and move our infantry into the Caucasus. So that will conclude Russia round number 2. And we will eagerly await the attacks of Germany and see where we can go from there. So anyway, that's going to do it for round 2, and I'll see you guys back for round number 3. All right. Russia, round number 3. So state of the board is pretty much the state of the board that happened last turn. We were able to prevent an attack on West Russia. We're going to try to do the same thing. We have to worry about a possible play for Archangel here, but we're going to hope that they decide against it, don't calculate it, or for whatever reason decide not to do it. So our purchase was 6 infantry and 2 artilleries, and the only attack we're doing is we're going to hit Ukraine with 1 guy, 1 artillery, and our 2 fighters. And so let's run the combat on that and see how that works out. Alright, we lucked out. And we only lost 1 guy in Ukraine. Our fighters are going back to West Russia. Our infantry are going up to West Russia. Our lone infantry is going back into Russia proper. Our 5 are going into Russia. I'm sorry, West Russia. And then that is everything we're moving. We're leaving this guy here in case they do make the threaten to play here. At least we can show that we have a lot of units in range of hitting back. So let us go ahead and finish that up. Everything we're mobilizing into Russia. And that is the end of Russia round 3. We still have a decent amount of money, actually, for this stage of the game, but that's going to end rather quickly. So that's it for Russia round 3, and I'll see you guys back for round number 4. All right, Russia, round number 4. So the state of the board, USA had an excellent round. Took a bunch of stuff. And the Atlantic looks like it is absolutely owned by the Allies. The Pacific, on the other hand, we have a lone sub and 2 guys in Hawaii. But whatever. I mean, Japan can have a huge navy because we don't have anything to combat it, so it don't matter. So, for Russia's turn, for the buy, we just did 1 artillery and 7 infantry. And just to keep the status quo, we only have 1 attack here, which is we're going to send 1 infantry, 1 artillery, and our 2 fighters down to Ukraine to attack that. And after this result, depending on what we get here, we're going to shuffle our whatever limited troops we have to try to prevent a Japan advance into Kazakh. So, let's run the combat and see how that goes. Pray for hits. Okay, so the combat was a fucking bust. We didn't even kill the 2 infantry in Ukraine. What a joke. Alright. We're going to move 3 infantry over to West Russia. We're going to move our 2 artillery over to West Russia. We're going to move our stack from Ivanki down to Novo. And we're going to move 4 infantry down to Kazakh, right? So that'll give us 6 infantry in a plane. West Russia is going to be tight. It's going to be roughly a 50-50 battle if they decide to take it. Alright, and because we had such a shitty result, we're going to put 4 guys in West Russia, and we'll put the remaining 3 down to Kazakh, which lightens our defense here, but gives us a little bit more, a little bit over 50%, 61% to hold West Russia. So, alright. Let's just double check this here. One thing about Russia that's really nice is that you don't really have a lot of moves ever. And you never have a navy. If you have a navy with Russia, you've done a fucking great job. Alright, everything... Hold on, I'm getting a telegram from the War Department. I think they want me to put some guys in the Caucasus. Okay. Alright, we'll do an artillery and 3 infantry to the Caucasus, and we'll do 4 into Russia. Not ideal, but... Okay, the War Department is really killing me now. The War Department does not like my placement of the artillery, so we're going to change it to Moscow, and then we'll put 4 infantry in the Caucasus and 3 infantry in Russia. And the artillery's probably there in case we need to hit back West Russia, or we can hit the Caucasus if either one of those falls. So it probably gives us a little bit more versatility to use the artillery, which is probably a good idea. Alright, let's finish that up. We're still kind of hemorrhaging money, but at least we have enough money to buy 7 more infantry next turn, so that'll probably most likely be our buy. And we'll see what Germany does if they decide to take the 61% or what is it, 39% for them battle, which I don't think they will. But if they do, we'll see what happens. So that's the end of Russia round 4, and I'll see you guys back for round number 5. Alright, round 5 for Russia. So the state of the board, Not exactly sure what's going on in the Pacific here, but he has 2 mini fleets. It did the 59 play, but we looked at it, and he doesn't have a lot of guys. Capabilities. Probably going to take Hawaii, but Western U.S. is probably out of the question, given what he has for attack power. But you never know. And then this fleet here, I'm not sure what it's doing down there in Borneo. He doesn't have an IC there. He has nothing there, so I'm not sure what the plan is. But maybe to take Australia seems like the most likely plan for that, which is probably a good use of Japan's resources there to get some free IPCs. USA totally crushed Northern Africa, and that pretty much freed up Africa for the Allies, so that is under 0 threat now. We're good there. Made landings on Normandy and the west coast of Europe. Those will probably be lost, but that's okay. We sucked out a little bit of money. And Germany stacked Karelia. So we did the math on this fight right here. If we do nothing, we're at an 86% chance to hold at the end of the turn. But we're not going to do nothing. We're going to play kind of aggressive with Russia. And we're going to try to take Ukraine and Belo. And that'll reduce our defense here to about a 50-50 shot. But like we always say, if your opponent wants to take a 50-50 battle, especially if it costs him all of his armor and all of his planes, that would be nice. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So in order to do that, we're going to take 1 artillery in each of these 2 territories and 1 infantry in each of these 2 territories and 1 plane in each of these 2 territories. And that is all we're going to do as far as Russia attacking. So let's run the combat. See how they go. Alright, combat was interesting. We had the exact identical result in both of these battles. Now, if you watch the Ukraine battle, if I didn't edit it out, which I'm not anymore, you would see that the plane didn't even hit. We've had terrible luck with attacking fighters lately. So it's a good thing that we decided to bring the artilleries, because it gave us that extra chance to get a 2 or under, and they both paid off. So we got both of those. We're going to now move everything that we possibly can into West Russia. And then for our rear guard here, we're just going to fan out. So we're going to add 1 guy into Vologda, and we're going to send 1 guy to reinforce Kazakh, and we're going to leave 1 guy in Novo. So that'll give us a very thin eastern front here, but really Japan's pretty thin too. Here, I think they might be trying to go for India, but I believe our strategy is going to be to crush Burma again. And without that, India should be safe. So, let me just double check these moves. And if the moves look okay, then we will proceed. Okay, to our mobilization. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. The Axis bombed the shit out of my Russia industrial complex. As it turns out, we had 21 bucks and we have 7 spots with which to mobilize, so we decided to not repair the complex at this point. Doesn't really matter, because it's not a dire need to put all of our stuff in Russia at this point. And without any Navy here in the Med, the Caucasus are under no threat. So let's see. That is all of our mobilization. All right, what do we got here? 26, 1, 3, 6, and 2. And I believe that was what we calculated. 2, 26, 1, 3, and 6. Okay. All right, so we should have a 50-50 battle in West Russia if he decides to take it. More than likely, he'll use his aircraft to probably take some of these territories back. And if that's the case, and they don't use the aircraft on West Russia, our odds go up to like 75%. So that's even better. So anyway, that's going to conclude a rather long-winded Russia round number 5. And I will see you guys back for round number 6. All right. Russia round number 6. So the state of the board is kind of interesting. Germany did the Archangel play, which we thought they would do. But USA has taken Ukraine and Southern Europe. I'm sorry, not Southern Europe. Romania. They already have Scandinavia, and they took Karelia. So it's interesting in the fact that we're still behind, but we're not dead. And if we can make some headway, we might be able to turn the tide. I still think so. So, we had to repair a couple damage from our industrial complex in Russia, and then our purchase was 6 infantries and 1 artillery. And then we're going to do something so we can try to prevent quick reinforcements of this stack here. We're going to hit Bello with 2 guys, 1 artillery, and our 2 fighters, and just pray that the battle goes well. And then everything else will kind of turtle back into Russia. Depending on how this fight goes, we may or may not move our Vologda guy back to Russia. And then we have to support Kazakh with 6 infantry. So we're going to have to shuffle our Caucasus stack and a couple guys from Russia in there. So, and that's all the movement that we're going to do with Russia. So let me look at the battle thing here. Okay. What's my map nodes? Support me in Kazakh. All right. I will do that. All right, let's hope this battle goes well. Okay, that was fantastic. We had 1 casualty, which is just fine. We're going to go ahead and move back to Russia with our fighters. We're going to move our tanks, our AA guns. Let's see here. We need to move our 24 guys. We'll decide maybe we'll keep 1 in West Russia. And we're going to move 4 guys into Kazakh and 1 guy from Russia into Kazakh, which gives us 2, 5, plus the 5, 10, 14. All right, so let's do this. Let's leave 1 guy in West Russia. And then, because the battle went so well in Bello, we're just going to leave our guy here. He's making his last stand, just not to give up a free territory. But I think with this, and with UK's additional defense here, we'll have this up to 15 infantry to defend. But I think we needed 16 if I did the math right. Alright, let's see how many guys we got going into Russia here. 23 guys are going into Russia. Plus 3 tanks. And there's 2 guys already in there, so that'll be 25 guys. 3 tanks, 2 fighters. Plus, we're going to deploy 4 more, so that's 29 and 1 artillery. So that'll be 29, 1 artillery, 3 tanks, 2 fighters, and an AA gun. And the fighters from the United States. Alright. So it looks like we're going to be okay. I mean, it will be a sweat. It's not going to be easy. Because some of the battles are going to be tight, but... So let's see here. We're going to have 25 plus 4, 29. We're going to have 29, 1 artillery, 3 tanks, 5 fighters, and we should be okay. Alright. That looks good to me. And Kazakh will have 9, 12, 15, and an artillery 16. Okay. I think we're okay there. So, let's finish this up. We'll put our artillery in Russia, our 4 guys in Russia, and we'll put our remaining 2 guys in the Caucasus. And we finished with $22, which is nice because we can buy 7 more infantry, or, well, yeah, or maybe an artillery and 6 infantry, or maybe we repair one of these and buy 7 infantry. I don't know. We'll have to see, because I anticipate they're going to bomb the shit out of it again. So we'll have to see. But as far as the board right now, I think it's the best we can hope for. So that's going to be it for Russia round number 6. And I will see you guys back for round number 7. Alright, Russia round number 7. So the state of the board is Japan is moving towards Russia pretty good. Germany is pretty well entrenched in West Russia. They moved out of Archangel, but our allied troops are massing in Scandinavia, which is good for us. And USA did his job and took Ukraine, which is also good for me as Russia. But we're still a couple turns away from getting our maximum reinforcements, and they stole fucking Hawaii, which sucks. So we'll have to deal with that probably at some point. So this turn, my purchase was 3 infantry and 3 artillery, and I repaired 1 more of the IC damage. And then we're going to vacate Kazakh here. Japan's going to move into it, but if they move heavy into it, we're going to be able to strafe them to death. So we're going to try to expand a little bit and get some more money for Russia while maintaining a good defense here. So we're going to take 2 guys. Oops. Take 2 guys and a fighter and hit Archangel. We're going to take 2 guys, we'll do 3 guys and a fighter and hit Novo, and then we're going to take our 3 tanks and 2 guys. Oh, let's see here. All right, let's see here. All right, I guess we're doing 2 guys and a fighter. Just hope that the fighter hits. So I haven't had good luck with. Haven't had a lot of good luck with fighters hitting during attacks. So 3 tanks, and I need 2 guys here. I'll use my artillery. I won't use my artillery. I'll just use 2 guys. Alright, that should expand us out. We're anticipating that Germany will move into the Caucasus, and if they do, they'll probably leave this poor bastard fighter exposed, so he'll be dead. I mean the bomber, which would be nice. And if that happens, we can also stack Karelia, which would be good for us when we start filtering into Europe here. But obviously that's going to depend on what Germany does. So let's run the combat here. I think those are all strong. Let me run the combat here. Strong, strong, strong. Okay. All right. And that's why we use extra guys. Okay, combat was pretty atrocious. Our tanks did not hit anything, which is kind of amazing. We'll fly our fighters back to Russia. We'll move an infantry, one infantry to Vologda, and we'll send 6 of those infantry up to Russia. So we'll have 30 plus what we're going to deploy. $32 is what we'll have. 32, yeah. Plus our 3 artillery and our 3 more guys. So we'll have Russia pretty well locked down. And we moved out a little bit. This one hurt. Obviously, Vologda hurt. But that's going to do it for Russia's non-combat move. Let's see. Gaian Archangel, 32 in Russia. 1 in Nova, 1 in Vologda, 1 in the Kazakh, 1 in the 0 in the Caucasus. All right. We'll throw our 3 infantry and our 3 artillery into Russia. Collect our $20, which is decent considering. And that will conclude Russia round number 7. And I will see you guys back for round number 8. All right, Russia round number 8. So quick state of the board. My allies were able to kill everything in Kazakh, but they didn't take it. That's okay because it's empty, so we can take it. There's a hefty, medium stack, I would call it, in the Caucasus there of Germans. And the Allies own Scandinavia, which is good. Japan is definitely a threat to Moscow there in a couple of turns. And he's got some production facilities they're going to start pumping out. Looks like they're totally going to ignore India. Although he does have 8 guys here in Yunnan. So those guys might be going... They might be in play to hit India. And he's just killing all these... There is absolutely... The Pacific is wide open to him. It would be hilarious if he threw a transport in one of these 2 sea zones by itself, but that might be just wishful thinking. So, but you never know. People make mistakes. So, before this turn, I hit up the War Department, and we gave some serious thought to hitting the Caucasus with the Russians. And that would have given us like a 60% chance to conquer the territory, but it would have pretty much decimated everything else that I had left in Russia. Could have been a game turner, but because of our Scandinavian advance, which Germany's not going to have really much of an answer for, we don't think. We're going to opt to kind of slow our roll a little bit and just maintain, try to defend as many Russian territories as possible, while moving into UK and USA are going to make strong work of hammering Europe. So our buy was simply 5 artillery, and that's just to give our infantry stack here in Russia more punch if we ever do decide to attack one of our neighboring territories here. So we are going to grab 1 infantry and take the Kazakh back, and then we're going to send 3 infantry and our 2 planes. Try to take Ivanki. Our tanks are going to return back to Russia, and we'll put a guy from Russia into Novo, and maybe a couple in Archangel. We haven't decided. We'll see how this combat goes. But Archangel right now is safe, so we don't really have to put anything in there. We might put him in there just to counter whatever he takes this back with. All right, let's run the combat, see how it goes. All right. Okay. You have to forgive my profanity on the live stream. Maybe I'll edit that out. But after 6 rounds of combat with no planes hitting, we finally were able to take Ivanki. Pretty atrocious. You would think that you have at least a 50% chance of hitting with 3s, but they just weren't hitting. And lately I've had that happen. We're going to put 1 guy in Novo. And I think we are going to put a couple guys in let's see here. Let's see here. Do I really want 2 guys? All right, let's go ahead and put 2 guys up in Archangel. And I guess that kind of justifies our not going after the Caucasus with rolls like that, but you never know how the rolls are going to go, so I've been on the receiving end of some really good rolls as well, so we're going to finish up these moves here. Throw our 5 artilleries in Moscow. And call it a turn. Luckily, my allied players are doing an excellent job with Scandinavia here, and they have successfully beaten back any German threatening of Africa, which is important to keep UK's money at least respectable. But Germany's doing a good job defending their western front here, so the 17 guys in Paris are going to be a tough nut to crack. So anyway, that is the end of that is the end of Russia, round number 8. And I'll see you guys back for round number 9. Alright, round 9 for Russia. So the state of the board, Japan decided to stack the Kazakh. However, they sent no fighters to the Caucasus. And USA was able to kill the infantrymen in Baltic and then fortify the stack in Belo. So we have decided at this point that we're going to strafe Kazakh, and we're going to try to take Ivanki back. So I just have a little bit of money My purchase was 2 artillery and 3 infantry, just trying to get a little bit more punch for strafing and trading purposes. And so we're just going to have 3 attacks. The other thing we're going to do, which is a little bit maybe unorthodox for Russia, is I'm going to take 1 tank here and I'm going to take Ukraine. And the reasoning behind that is that effectively eliminates the tanks from being used to counter in Bello, right? So all he's going to have is 10 infantrymen and 3 planes and a bomber. And if he wants to take that fight, it's a big loser. So I don't think they will take it. But in any case, yeah, it's sacrificing a Russian tank, but we did the math and we should be able to hold Russia for a few more turns, especially if the strafe in the Kazakh goes well. Then we're going to take our 2 Archangel guys and hit Evenki, and our 2 fighters and hit Evenki as well. We're not going to use our planes in this because why risk them on an AA gun when we're just trying to whittle down their stack anyway. Then we'll take 31 dudes, 9 artilleries, and our remaining tank, and we will strafe Kazakh, and we hope to get anything under 24 hits. If we get 24 hits, this may cause us some issues, but I'm pretty confident we're not getting 24 hits out of 41. But I guess stranger shit has happened. So let's run the combat here. Ukraine is captured. Evenki strong. Kazakh strong. Really? All right, let's go to it and see what happens. Oh, I see why they're saying it's strong, because if I don't, yeah, if I just kept going, I'm gonna win. So I forget the calculator doesn't anticipate us bouncing after. It doesn't take strafes into account. So that makes perfect sense, actually. All right, here we go. Ooh, that was nice. Okay, the calculator was right on that. All right. So we lost 14 guys in the combat, and we killed 17. Right? Yeah, I think we killed 17. So we still got, let's see, 19 guys plus the 5. I'm going to put it, well, let's see, 19 plus the 9. They all defend the same. So 28 plus the 5 I'm dropping in there. So 33. And the fighters is going to be pretty good. So, all right. I think that's all I'm doing for the non-com is flying my fighters back. I'm going to throw our 3 infantry and our 2 artillery into Russia. And we're going to end Russia's turn. All right. That is going to be the end of Russia round number 9. Interesting board. I will see you guys back for round number 10. All right, Russia round number 10. So the state of the board, the Allies have done a really good job eating into Europe's profit here. A lot of these territories he can take back, but he can't take Bello back. And we have lots of more guys coming in from Scandinavia. So the Scandinavia shuck is in full effect. USA has an excellent logistic route of troops going in. We did land some extra troops in Africa, but then Japan kind of decided to pull back and not go towards Africa, which we figure they're going to do a India attack here. Based on the fleet in 46, fleet in 61, it would be logical to assume that they're going to attack India. And of course Japan is stacked up on my doorstep. I only had, I think, $16, so all I did was buy 3 infantry and 2 artilleries. And we're going to attack Novo here and try to get it, so we'll have $15 to spend next turn so I can get 5 more infantry. So let's go ahead and take an infantry, an artillery, and both of our fighters. And hopefully we get 2 hits before they get 3 hits. And that's really all Russia's going to do. We're just basically trying to stay alive here. So let's run that combat. Alright, well, we got snake eyes in return on our combat, which was pretty fucking atrocious, but that happens. I probably should have gone with the 3rd infantry to ensure that I took the territory, but that was not to be. So that is the argument for not spending all your money, right? Saving your money and having that extra 1 IPC, because now I'm only going to have 14 at the end of the turn instead of 15, so it limits me to buying only 4 guys. So that would be the logic behind saving that 1 IPC. I defy the logic because I was getting greedy with my artillery, and hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me too bad. So that is going to be it for our combat and our non-com. We'll throw everything we got into Russia. And we will conclude Russia round number 10. So that's going to be it for round 10 for Russia. I'll see you guys back for round number 11. Alright, Russia round 11. So the state of the board, India is still in dire straits. But it looks like, Africa's under threat here, right? But my allied partners are doing a good job by helping me out. USA pushed east into Ivanki, and so the Japanese are going to have to deal with that. And they've really pushed into Europe, and we're slowly squeezing the lifeblood out of Germany. My only goal for this turn is to take the Caucasus and hold out as long as possible until USA, who's doing an excellent job getting troops over into Europe, just keep that chain running into Europe. And now even Italy is under threat here if we decide not to drop these guys down here to Africa. These guys may be better suited to go down to Africa, and then these 12 guys up here to Finland, but obviously USA is going to figure that out on their turn. So my purchase for this turn was 1 artillery and 3 infantry. That leaves me 1 IPC remaining. I'm currently making 14. So with 14 and the 1 left over, I can buy 5 infantry next turn. I'm going to hit the Caucasus. If for some ungodly reason it fails, then I will only have 15, so I can only buy 5 units. But if it succeeds like we're hoping, I'll have 19. I can buy an artillery and 5 units. So, or I can buy 6 infantry. I don't know, I'll decide next turn. But let's go ahead and run that combat. So we're going to send 4 guys and our fighters. Take the Caucasus. I thought about hitting Novo, but I think I'm going to leave it there. Actually, let's do this. No, let's do this. let's do this. Let's send 1 artillery. Two infantry. And a fighter. And then let's send 2 infantry. And the other fighter. Or how about this? We'll send both the fighters to the Caucasus. And we'll send, since they both defend the same, we'll send 1 artillery and 1 infantry. And try to take Novo back. Alright. I think that is it. And that's just because I don't want Japan to just steal these 2 IPCs and I have to take them back. I don't want Japan to have the extra money. If he wants to run a tank in here, I don't think he's gonna. They might hit this with all this stuff. But USA, that might not be terrible. Keep them off of my doorstep. So, let's run this. Alright, so combat was a success, although we lost units in both of these attacks, and I can't tell you how many times I've had 2 infantry get snake eyes on me, and double hits. It's been a trend lately, that they're getting double hit backs every time, so I'm glad I decided to use the artillery, and not rely on just the fighters and the infantry. And like I said, artillery and infantry defend the same, so it doesn't really matter if I have 10 infantry or 20 infantry and 10 artillery for the defensive parts. So, alright. We're going to mobilize everything into Russia. And we have 20 IPCs left, which is pretty good. We can buy... we can still buy 6 units, so that's good. That will be the end of Russia round 11, and I will see you guys back for round number 12. Alright, Russia round number 12. So, in consultation with the War Department, it appears that I've got 2 turns remaining to be in the game. So, last turn, Japan took India as we anticipated. We figure this turn they'll stack the Caucasus, and next turn 1-2 punch Russia and I'll be out. But thanks to the Allied landings here, I think we have a 1-2 punch shot on Germany as well, which will put Germany out of the game. So for this turn, all I'm going to do is try to branch out a little bit, get my money up to 20 for one last hurrah next turn. And then, so all we did was buy 4 infantry and 2 artilleries to throw back into Russia. So for the combat in this turn, we're going to take 2 artillery, 2 infantry, and both our fighters and hit Kazakh. And then we're going to take 2 artillery and 1 infantry and hit Novo. Alright, so let's run the combat and see what happens there. It's going to be favorable in Novo, yeah. Alright, here we go. Wow. That was terrifying. Alright, beautiful. So it took a while, but we were able to scrounge our way into Kazakh, and Novo was a one-hit, one-round destruction of the forces there. So that was pretty good. Can't argue with that. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's all we're gonna do is land our planes back in Russia. And I think that'll be it. All right, and then we're just going to throw one infantry into our surrounding territories, just so this tank can't blitz over here and take West Russia in some last-ditch effort to get Japan a ton of money, even though they already do have a ton of money. So that's going to be it. Oh, well, sorry. Wait a minute. All right. Actually, England can cover Archangel, so we're just going to put a guy in Vologda, just to prevent the tank from bum rushing in. So that will be the end of the non-com. Everything goes into Russia for this turn, anyway. All right. And we end up with 20 IPCs for next turn, which all in all, I think it's a pretty successful round for Russia. We're hanging on. Like I said, consensus is I probably have 2 more turns in the game, including this one. So, well, it's going to take them 2 turns to hit me. So, yeah. So probably round 13, I get knocked out. But hopefully we have Germany by then, and the game should be in our favor. So that will be it for Russia round number 12, and I'll see you guys back for round 13. All right, Russia round number 13. So we were able to take Germany, and now all the defense has to flood as fast as possible towards Russia. Hopefully I can live for a couple more turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 territories are my priority, Kazakh and the Caucasus, just so he can't blitz his 9 tanks and whatever air support. I don't think he has any more air support. Blitz his 9 tanks and weaken Russia even more. So I went ahead and just bought all infantry, 6 infantry. I'm going to bank the 2 remaining ones that I have so that I can buy more infantry in the future. And hopefully the Americans, if I can withstand, the Americans can get here. So he can dump 22 units plus these units into the Caucasus next turn, and then I think the defense of Moscow. And if all the Allied fighters fly into Russia, then the defense of Russia will be complete. So let me see if I can't kill all of this stuff to keep Russia. So let me go, let's say 4 of those, let's say 4 artilleries, and we'll do 5 fighters, 5 infantry, and we'll do a plane, and then we'll do 1 infantry, 1 artillery, and another plane to kill Kazakh. And then we'll do... What if I just push out and move all 17 guys out into Novo? He can't get it. So let's move 17 guys, a tank, and 4 artilleries into Novo. Actually, you know what? Let's move another artillery. If we're going to do that. And let's move one more guy. Got to make sure we take both of these. Then we'll move 16 guys. The tank. And the other 3 artilleries. Because it really doesn't matter. All I got to do is withstand. So after I take this back, Germany will most certainly push into there and take it. With 16, 3, and 9 tanks. But I think 30 guys... or 28 guys and 7 artilleries with 6 fighters and how many tanks? 2 tanks can probably wipe the German stack. Even if Japan, because what can Japan move in there? Fighters, that's it. So I think the USA counterattack should be able to wipe this. So let me leave a note. All right, so let's go ahead and do the combat. All right. The good old attacking infantry were able to wipe Novo. The tank and the artillery didn't hit. How beautiful is that? All right. The planes are going to fly back into Russia. And I can just back into Russia if I have to next turn with whatever survives it from Novo. I know, I'm doing that. And I should be good. All right, so that is the end of Russia round 13, and I'll see you guys back for round number 14. All right, welcome back. This is going to be the end of the game. So the Allies captured the requisite 10 victory cities and ended the game. For some reason, I didn't record Russia's round number 14. I thought I did. It was probably like a 1 minute, 30-second round. All I did was buy 6 infantry and an artillery and back everything back off into Russia just to protect it for the final go. So a couple of thoughts on this game. It was a fun game overall. It was back and forth for quite a bit. We had a couple of new players as far as new to playing multiplayer and also trying different countries out and seeing what worked and what didn't. So I hope they enjoyed getting to play with other people and seeing how some of these games go. Big turning point in this game was in round number 1. Japan got some pretty horrifying dice in C-Zone 61, and the UK cruiser survived, which then led to the 3 transports that were purchased by Japan being eliminated in round 2, which severely hampered Japan's ability to land any troops on the mainland or launch any attacks or set up for an India play or basically get started. So that really was a setback. But as you can see, Japan recovered, was able to push into and seize most of Asia. It was just fortunate enough for the Allies that they were able to overwhelm Germany and take it in round number 12. And at that point, the game was all but over. But Skeletor, for his part. Valiantly attempted to mount a comeback, but unfortunately was unsuccessful. But all in all, it was a fun game. My appreciation to Mannix, Gwyn Lord of Cinder, Skeletor, and Cat Gifts. I enjoyed playing with these guys. That's going to be the end of this game and the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys back for another video.